Alright, and hello ladies and gentlemen. Today we're going to be looking at LeetCode question 205, isomorphic strings. What in the hell does that mean? That's a good question. So let's read the problem. Given two strings s and t, determine if they are isomorphic. Two strings are isomorphic if the character in s can be replaced to get t. And all occurrences of a character must be replaced with another character while preserving the order of the characters. No two characters may map to the same character. Okay. So if we look at example 1, we have egg and add as our two inputs, and then so it looks like E can be mapped to A and vice versa, and then G can be mapped to D, and then since G is already mapped to D, that's going to return true. And then here we have F being mapped to B, O being mapped to A, and then since O is already mapped to A, when we try to map O to R, it's going to be false, so that's very helpful. And then example 3, we have paper being mapped to tile, so the P is mapped to T, A will be mapped to I, and then P, since it's already mapped to T, that's good, and it's in the same spot. And then E to L, and then R to E. Okay, interesting. And then constraints, we have that the lengths are already equal to each other, so there's no need for a guard clause to check if the lengths are different. So that's helpful. So I think the best solution here would be to use two integer arrays and keep track of the index of each letter, and then map it to the other letter, so we can map the array of E to A, and then G to D, and we're going to need to do vice versa, because if we just check one, so say for example we set the array of B to F, we can set the array of A to O and the array of R to O, and that's not going to catch it unless we have foo mapped to bar as well as bar mapped to foo. So let's write some pseudocode here. So we're going to need to create two arrays, and I think ASCII size, so that's 256, or maybe it's 128. I think it's just 128 since we're just dealing with letters here. And then we're going to need a loop through S, check if the value is 0, meaning it's empty, and if it is 0, then we, if so, add the other value. So if E is 0, then we'll add A, so add other val. Okay, so we'll loop through, check if it's 0, and if it is, add the other. And then once we get done with that, we need to check if the values, we need to check if the two values equal each other. So equal each other. And if they don't, that means that the mapping is already set or incorrect. So we can return true or false based on that condition. So let's go ahead and get started here with the code. We'll create two integer arrays. So int r, we'll call this one array of s equals new int array of I think it's just 128. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's go ahead and copy that down and then add t there. Okay. So now we need to do a loop on s and check if the value is 0. If so, we need to add the other value to where we're at. So let's go ahead and make that for loop int I equals 0 while I is less than s dot length. And then go ahead and iterate that I, right? We know how to do for loops. Oop, I think I deleted the, okay, yeah. So let's go ahead and grab the character that we're at. Just to make it a little cleaner here, so we can say car at, we'll just call it, yeah, CHS, right? Equals s dot car at I. And then we can just do a little copy there, right? We're lazy. Probably not faster, but it looks good. Okay. So we have our two characters, and now we need to check if the array at the character's index is already set. So let's do that. If array of s, where we're at, so see if the character is A, the CHS index would be 97 because that's the ASCII value. It's 97 through 128 for regular numbers, I believe. So if that place in the index is 0, then we need to add the other value into that spot. So we can say the same thing, this spot is now equal to the other character, right? And then essentially we need to do the same thing or the opposite, but the same thing. So array of t at this spot, at t spot, if that equals 0, that means we know it's not set. So we're going to set that value equal to the other character, which is CHS. Okay, that looks good. Let's just double check. Now my naming convention is just atrocious, but I mean, it's fine. Okay, and now we need to check if the values equal each other. My pseudocode got lost there, but it's alright. Check if the values equal each other. Okay, so we can do that with another if statement. So if this spot doesn't, or let's just say if it doesn't equal, that's easier, that's cleaner. If that doesn't equal this character, no need to do the array because we can just look at the character. So if that doesn't equal that, and the opposite, this doesn't equal this, well then we can return false because then the mapping is gone awry. And then if we get to the end of the array, we can just return true. And I think that looks good. Let's just double check we got all our little syntax, little semicolons. Those things are tricky. Let me tell you, they are tricky. Alright, I think that looks good. Let's go and give it a run. And it is passed. So let's go ahead and submit that and see where we're at according to our memory and time. And whoa, that's not great. I wonder why. Runtime's good. Maybe we just submit it again and it'll be better. Let's just pretend we didn't see that, right? Oh, that's much better. Okay, we're gonna pretend that first iteration didn't happen. So I mean, you don't get discouraged for these guys. I mean, these guys are just losers. Look at these guys. It's always helpful to look at the best memory and runtime solutions and just kind of look over the problem. But I mean, like, who knows what these guys are doing, right? Like, I'd have to look at this for 10 minutes to understand that. That is just absurd. So I think this is good. So hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. If you did, drop a like. If you got any questions for me, drop a comment and I will respond to you because I'm very responsive. So yeah, there we go. All right, we'll see you guys in the next video.